Nanba episode 2. Are we sold on this? Let's talk about it.
Shut up and sit down.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, guys. Welcome to Chris is Talking, and this is my weekly anime review for Nanba or Nanbaka. And this is for episode 2. And so, what do we think about this? I know in last week's episode I wasn't too sold on the series because some of the jokes were quite hit and miss. I wasn't really feeling it too much, but the opening song and the cliffhanger at the end and certain characters did intrigue me a bit more than I thought they would. So now episode 2, unfortunately, it doesn't go into the cliffhanger that it finished on last week's episode, which at the same time it didn't even bring it up, which is something that I was kind of hoping that at least if it didn't bring it up, that if they didn't continue it, that it'd bring it up in some form. So I was like, so personally that kind of knocked a few points off of it. And then there was certain things like, what else happened? I also found that like it was too choppy screwy. Like every scene, every cutscene just kind of just moved on. Nothing really, I don't know, the timeline, it didn't really connect. The whole episode didn't really connect. Something happened, it goes to somebody else. Something happened, it goes to somebody else. To the point of where it literally, something would happen to a character and then to the same character, a whole new scene is happening and there was no transition. So in that kind of sense, for the first half of the episode, once again, I wasn't really feeling it. I found it kind of but what I did like is we did get quite a lot of a bit more world building, I guess. And I know it's not world building because we don't really know about the world, but we do find out more about like outside of just the prison number 13, which where the main characters are being held in, and we get to find out more about the prison itself, Nanba, and like the different buildings and the different wardens, and we get to be introduced to a couple of them, which I thought was pretty interesting. I was like, okay, cool, we get to see some of them. And I guess the recurring theme is about the characters and them running away and them breaking out of prison and how that's affecting them. And what we do get continued from last week's episode is the overall warden of Nanba. She's asking the main warden of number 13 of the, so all the characters we're in right now are in like number 13, and we have a warden, the bald guy. He's the basically a continuing character, even though he's not the main 3 or 4. He is the one who's overseeing them. He's the one who's basically in charge of them, so we get to see quite a lot of him. And surprisingly, he's actually one of my favorite characters personally. I actually do like seeing him on screen. I do like seeing more about him. I do like his mental thoughts and how he's not just angry all the time. We get to see that there's a bit more depth to him, so a bit more character development to him, which is why I liked about that. We didn't get much more character development with anybody else really. We kind of got a bit of what we knew from the characters, because the main warden number 13, he was speaking to the overall warden of Nanba, the chick, I don't know her name, Momo something, that's her last name, but sorry, sue me. But yeah, basically because of how jumpy like this episode is and how jumpy the series is, it doesn't really allow you to really take in any of the information or to really have this following theme or anything. Whereas in like, I'm starting to remember the numbers of the different characters and what they do, so we do find out a bit of the characters of like from where they're from around the world. But I feel like they told us this in episode 1, why they got arrested, and we get a bit more in depth about that. And we do get a conversation between the warden of number 13 and Jugo, who's supposedly the main character. Now I didn't think he was the main character, but rewatching the opening song, we do get to see that whenever it flicks through some of the characters, Jugo has a lot more screen time on the screen. And how it finished on last week's episode seemed quite main character-ish, especially when it was like, oh, the shackles are on him and something to do with his father, this and that. And every now and then, like, he will have more screen time than the rest of the characters of that he's with, his other prison inmates. Another thing I found quite interesting in this episode was the connection between the warden of number 13 and the overall warden of the whole Nanbaka. And Nanbaka is the anime of Nanba, the whole prison itself, and how like they don't really understand each other, but I think they kind of like each other without them knowing each other. So I think that was like the reoccurring gag through this episode, which I kind of did find enjoyable. I enjoyed it pretty much, guys. So like at the beginning of the episode, you get to see she's asking the warden of number 13, oh, like, what's going on with these characters with these people, the inmates, like, why are they not broken out, this and that. And then we get to see that she actually has the hugest crush on him, like she literally goes into chibi mode, which I thought was so cute in a weird way. I was like, what the hell, considering that she's so stern, and every time any of the other wardens spoke about the aura coming off of her, or whenever they think about like her herself, it's like, oh no, she's the scariest person, this and that. So yeah, so we got to see a bit more character development between her and between the warden number 13, and a bit more in-depth characterization of the two together as well as individually. So that's something that I also found pretty good about this episode. Another thing I do find kind of interesting is the color. The color theme in this series is interesting. It's hit or miss. If you don't like all these pinks and zebra stripes and flamboyantness, then you may not like it. But I'm a JoJo watcher, and like, talking about flamboyant JoJo, there's a fly just flying around here like it pays rent. But anyways, I'm a JoJo watcher, and JoJo, if you guys know about JoJo, it can be manly as hell, but it can be hella free. But it's really, really good. So that kind of allowed me to kind of appreciate kind of this episode, the color theme, the art style, and what was going on there. So it wasn't too much. It didn't bother me that much. A lot of sparkles going on. Between all the characters, the manliest of characters. So that was like, okay, but it's not really that much of an issue for me. Colors are alright. The opening song is really, really nice. The song that the music that happens in the background, like, isn't really that, it doesn't follow the theme of what's happening. If something's serious, there isn't like a serious kind of music or tonal song choice in the background. Like, what is it, the OST, the official soundtrack there, the OST for this isn't that good, but the opening is. The closing song is pretty shit, not gonna lie. I'm not really feeling it. Talking about closing, letting you know from now, we'll be telling you guys about what I saw and the previews of next week's episode. Apparently there's going to be a ninja, so yeah, I don't know whether that's gonna be the main focus of the episode or whether that's just going to be one of the small parts of the episode, but a ninja is going to be happening in next week's episode. So I am still about this series. I'm still going to review this series because I just want to review some stuff. This is a new season of anime, and for the moment, why not? I'm waiting for Drifters, so hopefully we get to see that, get to see reviews on that. If you guys enjoyed this review, do like, share, subscribe as usual. If it's your first time on this channel, hey guys, don't forget to subscribe because I'd love you guys to see my other reviews. Or just check out the review for Nanbaka episode 3, which comes out next week Tuesday, so expect a review on Wednesday and all that good stuff. Hope you guys have a great day. Stick around. Chris is talking. Peace.